Hey guys, I'm just going to jump right into it. I've just done a few things, so I'd just keep you updated as I went instead of doing this long periods of time without you. So I shortened the drive shaft. So this is the drive shaft from the Crown Vic police interceptor, so it's aluminum. Took it down to a drive shaft shop, had them shorten it, and put new U-joints in it. And I went down to the junkyard and got a rear flange out of a Thunderbird, because the flange that came on the Crown Vic is bigger than the yoke on the 8.8 from the Mark 8 or the Thunderbird. So you got to get this smaller U-joint flange, whatever. So I went down and got that, had them put that on, shortened down the drive shaft. I don't have the exact measurement that they did for that. I can probably figure that out and get it to you. But fits in just fine, plenty of room. What you do to get that measurement is you measure from the very back on the flange of your tail shaft on your transmission. Measure from the flat of that to the flat of this right here. And you also measure from, because on the police ones at least, the output shaft pokes out a little bit from that, so you measure from the output shaft to the flange of this. And I also did from the end of the nut to the same places over there. So I just gave them 4 or 5 measurements and said, make it fit for me, and they did. So that's in. The other thing I've been working on is this little piece right here. Just took some cardboard and cut that out to shape, marked it on a piece of steel. I actually got the I went and when I was working on the Crown Vic, I cut the roof out of it and kept all that because I knew I'd need it for sheet metal. So I'm using sheet metal from the roof of the Crown Vic. Anyway, so cut a piece out of that, fit it to shape. Now it's in there. I put some I don't know what those are called, reliefs. What you do with that is you just open the jaws of your vise a little bit and put that on there, hit it with a ball peen hammer, and it creates a dent in there along the whole way. And what that does is it adds strength to the panel, so it doesn't flex anymore. So I did that on both sides of here, and I figure about right here is where I want the steering column to go through. So that's what I'm working on now. So I'll cut that hole out, and I measured it from this piece right here that the steering shaft's going to go through. I'm sorry, the steering column's going to go through. So when I get an update on that, I'll start recording again. Alright, well, fast forward a little bit. Here we are. Steering column sitting in it and hooked up into the dash. And right down here is where it goes to the firewall. So that looks like it should be about right. It might be a little bit far to the passenger side. Let me show you where it's coming out. I just don't like how close it is to the exhaust manifold. I mean, that's just going to cook those U-joints in there. So I think that we'll have to either wrap this whole thing in. Well, it's already got something on it, but we'll have to wrap it here, and we'll probably have to shift this column over a little bit to the driver's side. In any case, that's about where it's going to sit. So what I'm going to have to do, because there's no way to do a straight shot, like I told you guys, focus. Anyway, so there's no way to do a straight shot from here down to the steering down there. That means that I'm going to have to make an angle here. So I've got a Heim joint coming in the mail. It'll come down to about right here, and then from there over to the rack and pinion. So that's where I'm at with it. It's getting pretty close to where I can actually steer the thing again. That'll be exciting. Can you imagine? Anyway, I'll update you guys when I get a little more. Here's how I ended for the day. I got my pieces in here. It comes out the firewall. It's a 1-inch double D into a 3/4 double D, down into a Heim joint, which I had to put in. I had to weld in this plate right here, and I'll end up putting a support going from down here to the bottom of the frame so it doesn't flex so much, but that holds that Heim joint there, and that's pretty thick steel, so I'm not too worried about it, but I will put a support in there. So from there to this 3/4 to 3/4 double D, and down to the down to the rack and pinion. There you go. And so that's what that looks like. Looks pretty good. I had some problems where right here it was running into the exhaust manifold right there, and so got that taken care of. Shortened that nut a little bit. I did have to move this over just a little bit to the driver's side, but ultimately I think that worked out pretty well. I am still going to wrap the exhaust there just to keep the heat out of it. But I've got steering again, which is, long overdue. So that's that story, and I think that's about all I'm going to get done for today. So I appreciate you guys going through this with me and watching the videos. I love seeing the views come in and the comments that you all leave, and it's been a lot of fun. So if you got any comments or suggestions or ways you can tell me that I totally screwed up, please do so and save my name. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys another time.